flesh-eating robot stories, those got pulled from all over the web. Fox News, AP, you name it. We had it printed off. We have the copy. And I want to go over a little bit of that coming up in a few minutes. Kind of the big picture of that, because it did capture the public's attention. Jaron alone heard 2 local news stations last week saying, we're searching it, we found the link, but it's dead. Why is it gone? We'll break that down coming up here in just a few minutes. But finishing up with Rockefeller, let's play the first part of that clip where We Are Change is confronting him in one of the Senate office buildings. They say, we want to talk about Bilderberg. No, I'm not going to talk about that with you. See, for years they would say it just didn't exist. Now they can't say that. Now the minutes of Bilderberg have been stolen and leaked, where they set up the EU. They set up the North American Union. They're the ones financially raping us. They're the ones that have stolen $23.7 trillion in 10 months, double the GDP, roughly. This is incredible. The GDP's $13 trillion a year, so it'll be double the GDP at $26 trillion. But within 2 months, it'll be well over $26 trillion. So in 1 year, more than doubling the GDP. In stolen money, they hoard for themselves and don't loan out. And they're using the dollars when they have value buying real assets. Later, we get the dollars to pay them back with taxes and when they're devalued. What a system. So here's We Are Change confronting Jay Rockefeller. Then we'll play the second part of the clip.
Behind the joke.
Senator Rockefeller?
Yes.
I'd like to know if you're aware that we, the American people, are aware of the agenda of the Council on Foreign Relations and the Bilderberg Group. And if you could comment on that, please, because very concerning to a lot of us.
You know, I have 37 people lined up right outside Senator Schumer's office, all of them wanting to answer precisely that question.
Well, could you just take a brief moment and let us...
No, because we're not talking. We're talking about something. We're looking at...
Well, something that's so important, it sort of transcends everything else that we're talking about, sir. Could you comment on that, please?
No.
I'd like to know about the Bilderberg Group.
Get yourself some press credentials.
Well, we have the...
I'd like to know about the Bilderberg Group, sir.
Well, that's not part of our discussion.
When can we discuss that with you, sir?
Can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and this is for the senator. This is the scientific proof of the nanothermite that's been found in multiple samples of the World Trade Center dust by scientists from around the world. Basically conclusive proof that there's an Article 3, Section 3 treasonous cover-up going on about 9/11, sir. So
we'd love to get your opinion on that, too,
wait,
sir.
what did you say?
Excuse me, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, skip to the next one. Later in the clip's the second part from another camera angle as Luke gets into eugenics. So here they are giving him peer-reviewed foreign and national studies about explosive thermate in the towers. And that's not part of our discussion. Always compartmentalizing information. Because he can't talk about it. None of them can. They can't even say you're kooks anymore because they know folks will go read the studies. He can't deny and say Bilderberg doesn't exist anymore. That his uncle, David Rockefeller, was instrumental in founding with Prince Bernhard and was at the first meeting. And he can't deny eugenics. They say your family set it up and was Hitler's inspiration. Hitler wrote in Mein Kampf thanking the groups he founded. His great-grandfather founded. His grandfather founded. His father founded. Meaning this family is behind it all. This is the cancer research, the putting the cancer viruses in the vaccines. I mean, these are the guys. These are sick, wicked people. You notice he looks at them like, oh, my God, here are slaves that can see. And see, more and more, they can't just brush us off as kooks. They know more and more of us. When he sees 30, 40 people there to confront him, he knows that represents thousands per person. They're realizing, oh, my God, they're on to us. Now, remember, and I meant to print this up this morning, but you can go look it up. Rockefeller funded massacres in New Jersey and Colorado and all over with Pinkerton security. Famous case where they killed a whole bunch of people in Colorado. They own the land, the gold mine. They sent in men on horseback, burnt down the whole camp, rode down 4-year-olds, with horses, shot them in the back. And that was in the last century. That was in the early 20th century. Famous cases of Rockefeller-funded strikebreakers, Gatling gunning protesters. And then they got in trouble, so they went into this philanthropic mode. They set up NPR radio, PBS TV, everything. I mean, these are the guys. So let's cut back to this monster.
Your family starting the modern eugenics movement?
Let's call him Miss Christian.
Started eugenics. Hitler looked up to the eugenics that your family have started.
Okay, sir.
I think it's time for me to really start moving quickly.
Yeah.
You could just address some of these things. If we're wrong, sir, please just tell us.
No, go find somebody else to talk to.
But your family did start the modern eugenics movement that Hitler is looking up to. And you don't want to talk about the Bilderberg group? But what about the
He said, you want to run
Certainly
for
do.
Congress, you got a lot of balls.
Eugenics as well.
I don't belong to
The truth is coming out, and there's a lot of us that are aware of it.
I'm sure you know some members, sir, if you're not a member yourself.
President Obama's Director of National Intelligence, Admiral Blair, who I greatly respect, have labeled cybersecurity perpetrated through the Internet as the #1 national hazard of attack on the homeland in West Virginia, America, or anywhere else. So, I mean, it really almost makes you ask the question, would it have been better if we never invented the Internet?
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jay Rockefeller on the dais, on the bench, talking about better off not ever having the Internet. He's trying to pass bills right now to restrict free speech in America. Now, I want to shift gears. We're now going to cover the story of the missing flesh-eating Pentagon robot story. This story from Fox News and similar headlines were all over other news publications on July 14th, 15th, and 16th. This printout is from July 15, 2009. Upcoming military robot could feed on dead bodies. There it is for you on screen. Luckily, we had printed out several copies of this, but you cannot find this article and the few other news agencies that went with the same or similar headlines. Also have removed the headline and replaced it with things like this. Biomass-eating military robot is a vegetarian, company says. So when you go to the link of where this story was, upcoming military robot could feed on dead bodies, you get the story that the flesh-eating robot is actually a vegetarian, say, inventors. Now, let's go ahead and read the Fox News story, the original one. Now, in media, they're supposed to correct the original story but never pull it. So this is a new memory hole system for Fox News to simply completely trash the old article and replace it with the one on your screen that's up there today. Upcoming military robot could feed on dead bodies. It could be a combination of 19th century mechanics, 21st century technology, and 20th century horror movie. A Maryland company under contract to the Pentagon is working on a steam-powered robot. See, old technology is really good technology that would fuel itself by grabbing up whatever organic material it can find, grass, wood, old furniture, even dead bodies. Robotic Technologies, Inc.'s energetically autonomous tactical robot, that's right, EATER is what it stands for, can find, ingest, and extract energy from biomass in the environment and other organically based energy sources, as well as use conventional and alternative fuels such as gasoline, heavy fuel, kerosene, diesel, propane, coal, cooking oil, and solar when suitable, reads the company's website. That biomass and other organically based energy sources wouldn't necessarily be limited to plant material. Animal and human corpses contain plenty of energy, and they'd be plentiful in a war zone. EATER will be powered by the waste heat energy developed cyclone power technology out of Florida, which uses an external combustion chamber burning up fuel to heat up water in closed-loop engineering electricity. Yeah, water power is great. That's what nuclear power plants do. They boil the water with the nuke rods and then power things. It's a great system. The advantages of the military are the robot could be extremely flexible in fuel sources and could roam on its own for months, even years, without having to be refueled or serviced. See, roam for months. Perfect. Upon the Eater platform, the Pentagon could build all sorts of things: a transport, an ambulance, a communications event center, even a mobile gunship. In press materials, robotic technology presents Eater as an essentially benign artificial creature that fills its belly with foraging, despite the obvious military purpose. Okay, but the issue is, regardless of whether they're designed to eat human flesh or not on the battlefield, or animal flesh or whatever, they are out designed to kill. And let's show folks some of the images of the Eaters.